I love about the USA. So as a French woman who has lived in different places in the USA and who now currently lives in France, I love to make videos about the differences between French culture, American culture, usually more food related. And more often than not, I state things that I really like about France and the way that they eat, but I also love the US so much. And I thought today I would compile all the things I love about the United States in a video. First thing I love about the USA is the just convenience of everything. Stores open early, they close late. They don't have like random moments throughout the day where they close. And usually they're open throughout the week and throughout the year. In France, that's not the case. In a lot of places, it doesn't open super early, it closes pretty early. Sometimes you even have a break, like a lunch break, so you can't go to the store on your own like lunch hours, and it's gonna close for the summer. That's the case for a lot of places. I also love the customer service in the USA. It is so amazing. You walk into a store, people are greeting you, asking you how you're doing, you're making small talk with everybody. Client is kind of like king, and people really want to cater to you, and that is just so refreshing compared to France, where you feel like you are annoying people when you walk into their store. The client is not king in France, so a lot of the times people will not go above and beyond to cater to you if they don't. They'll just like tell you to leave. And just the general happiness, like smiles, asking you how you're doing, how your day's going, all of that is just so appreciated. And then the accessibility as well of everything in the US, I feel like it caters more towards people who are in wheelchairs or have like mobility issues. The aisles are super large. There are like powered carts, I guess, that you can use. The streets are more accessible. You have elevators everywhere. Like the cars are big, the streets are big. Just, you know that everything is going to be accessible. Everything is going to be convenient, which is not the case in France at all. I tell myself this all the time when I'm walking around Paris on the streets or when I'm like taking the subway. I'm like, this is so not accessible. Like, how would wheelchair users even navigate the city? Even for people with strollers, like they have to carry their stroller with their baby up and down flights of stairs because the elevators aren't working, or the elevators, there's like one elevator that's like 5 minutes away, 10 minutes away. Like the comfort is not there, which leads me to my next point about comfort. Everything is just comfortable in the US. Again, everything is bigger and just more comfortable. Maybe in France things are cuter, like in Europe in general, things are like cozy, quaint, dainty, but not as comfortable. In the US, you have air conditioning, you have heat that works well. You get into a house and it's comfortable. People are always surprised when I tell them this, but I suffered less in Chicago weather, like Chicago winters that would get so cold. It was less hard than winters in France, where it would get only to like 0 degrees Celsius, like -5 maybe Celsius. And in Chicago, it would get down to like -20 Celsius. And in Chicago, everything was just comfortable. You would get into your heated garage and then get into your heated car and then park your car in a heated parking lot and then go to the heated mall or the heated school. And you just would not suffer that much. Like even if you had to walk, you would walk a little bit, then get into a heated store. In France, it's not like that. You just freeze, I guess. And same thing in the summer. In France, when it's really hot, there's literally never any air conditioning. It's terrible. Another thing I love about the United States so much are all the celebrations and the kind of like season spirit. Now, I know that this is just a way to get people to consume more. I understand that. However, it is so nice that American people will hype up every holiday, every season, and it's going to be an occasion to do something fun around that time of the year. Like in France, basically, you have Christmas, New Year's, and you do a little something on the 14th of July. That is the like France Independence Day, but that's really it. And they definitely don't decorate their houses based on the seasons. I mean, I think it's so cool in the US when you get to fall, for instance, you're gonna get the fall vibes, the fall decor, you're gonna get the pumpkin spice lattes, then you're gonna have the Halloween decorations, you're gonna start decorating for Halloween, and when that's done, you're gonna get Thanksgiving, and then you're gonna go all out for Christmas. I have so many memories as a kid of just walking around decorations, Christmas decorations, and seeing just like all the different lights and the decorations that people would put up, and I felt like I was in a fairy tale. That never happens in France. People will put one little light if you're lucky, but it's just not really a thing. I also remember making like Valentine's Day cards for every one of my classmates in school in the US for Valentine's Day, or having like the leprechaun visit us for St. Patrick's Day, or doing all these fun activities based on the holidays and the seasons. And that just makes every part of the year super fun, and you always get something to look forward to. So number 3, you knew it was coming. I had to talk about food. One thing I love about the US is like this fun food culture, meaning that you're always going to have a bunch of different variations of different foods that are already like fun. If there's a soda that you like, you can go to that aisle and then see 10 different variations with different flavors of that soda. I remember going to the Oreo aisle and seeing so many different Oreo flavors and Oreo colors and like the amount of stuffing and all of that, and I was so excited about it. And in the US, whereas in France, like you're lucky if you get one type of Oreo, like the standard type. That was like rare. You always have the fun colors and the fun shapes and all these fun things. And of course, I am not saying that you should be eating these types of foods all the time because they are processed, but they are fun once in a while. For drinks as well, it's pretty similar. Like if you go to a coffee, like go get coffee, you're gonna have so many different options, so many different variations, and it's just so fun. Another thing I really love food-wise is the dietary inclusivity. Same thing, so many different options, so many different variations. You can go to any restaurant and you will have a vegetarian, even vegan option. You can go to the grocery store, you can find vegan alternatives. The US, you guys were so in advance compared to France. Paris is not that bad in terms of options, but the rest of France, it's terrible. Like if I go to a restaurant outside of Paris, there's never vegetarian options. I have to ask, I have to make them switch around their menu for me. And of course, the global cuisine in the US is just delicious. The variety is crazy. You can taste really good Mexican food and good like Ethiopian food and good like Japanese food, Thai food, whatever. There's so many different options that you can try and that are going to be widely available, because again, in France there are specific places that will cater to this, but you're not gonna find it widely available. In terms of people and culture as well, the US has so many advantages. First of all, it is a melting pot. You're gonna meet so many different people from different backgrounds, and it's so interesting to live and grow up with people from all over the world, or at least like their parents are from all over the world, or like their grandparents, and it's just so rich in that department. The friendliness of American people, like I was saying this a little bit for customer service, but it's just people are friendly in general. Never in France do people randomly compliment me as I'm like walking down the street, and people just go out of their way to be nice to you and to compliment you, and they're not expecting anything in return. They just want to be nice. Always smiling, happy, positive. It's just so pleasant to be around American people. When my sister and I were in New York, we knew that every time we went out, got dinner or something, we would meet people and make friends. And we knew that they weren't going to be friends for life, of course, but still, when we were having these moments at dinner, that's the way that you feel. Like these people are immediately interested, immediately asking you questions and just talking about everything. In France, it takes much longer to build a friendship, and small talk is not their thing. The casual dressing as well is something that is so convenient. Even if I personally like to dress up most of the time, I think it's super cool. You can go to school, or like at least college, go to college wearing whatever you want, basically pajamas, or go grocery shopping in basically pajamas, and nobody's gonna care. In France, people care. People will judge you. You have to dress a certain type of way, even if you just want to go out run errands. I mean, I guess in Paris, people don't really care that much. But in the rest of France, you're getting judged if you're wearing pajamas and flip-flops to grocery shop. And finally, the US is amazing when it comes to opportunities and just possibilities. First of all, with schools, I felt, at least the schools that I were in, they are way more inclusive for kids who aren't necessarily in the like school timeline or don't necessarily fit in neat little boxes. There's going to be all these different options that you can take. You can have special programs for different kids. So all of this is super pleasant and I feel like way more tailored to each kid. Whereas in France, it's kind of like this mentality where if you don't fit in with the system, kind of like too bad for you. I mean, Things are changing a little bit in that department, but we're not nearly as good as the US in getting that done. And then job culture in the USA is better, in my opinion, because it's more about what you were able to do, your abilities and like your experience, rather than your diplomas. Whereas in France, they're really going to be focused on what school you did, what diploma you got, and if you have like all the right qualities but you don't have the right background, they're not even going to look at your resume. Whereas I feel like in the US, people have the opportunity to prove that they are good and that they have skills, and people who hire them aren't going to be as bothered by their background and like what school they went to. And this kind of starts in school as well. In the US, it's really valued to volunteer or to like do extracurricular activities or to take like gap years and travel, do all these things. Whereas in France, these things are only good if they don't deter you at all from your academic path. But since a lot of the times they do, then it's going to be seen as just somebody who doesn't really know what they wanted, was a little bit lost, so had to dabble in a bunch of activities and then ended up here. And then entrepreneurship culture is so much better in the USA as well. There's always like these new ideas. I feel like entrepreneurs are valued and helped, and everything is really innovative. Whereas in France, things are so complicated for entrepreneurs. I don't know, like France hates entrepreneurs or something, but the system is not built for us and people don't understand it as much. It's kind of like, why would you do that? Like, just get a normal job. I feel like in France, failure is super stigmatized. Failure is bad. You're not supposed to fail. Whereas in the US, I was always taught that failure meant that you were actually learning something and that it would get you to success. Again, this starts in school. In France, if you have a bad grade, you're gonna be super punished for it. Whereas in the US, it's like, that's okay. What did you learn from this? And how can you do better in the future? And the overall positive mindset in school and work as well is just so much better. It's like the carrot or the stick thing. In the United States, they function with the carrot. They tell you, oh, if you do well, you're gonna have access to this and it's gonna be good. So, you know, the horse moves forward with the carrot. And in France, it's more the stick, like, oh, you have a bad grade, that's bad. You're gonna get detention, you know, that's bad. Hit the horse with the stick. And, you know, that's kind of how they get you to make progress. So I'm sure there's a middle ground that can be found, of course, but in general, I think the system is better in the US. So yes, some people do accuse me of American bashing, and that's really not what I want to do at all. I just want to show the good parts of France, for instance, food-wise, in order to help American people who are trying to eat the French way. But of course, I thought it would be only fair to make a video where I say all the things I love. So I hope that you enjoyed. Don't hesitate to share if you are American, what things you love about the USA and things that you don't like from France. Let's keep this going. So don't forget to like the video, subscribe, and see you on my next one. Bye.